And we are live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. It's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Somebody said every time I say it's the freaking weekend like that, they have to like shut the phone off or turn the phone because they're somewhere where they're not supposed to be listening, like at work or something like that. Anyways, shout out to my people going out to work this morning. Shout out to my people coming in from work. Extra special big up as usual to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and dads. A lot of us are going to be stay-at-home moms and dads in a minute. Shout out to my retirees. Shout out to my truck drivers, Uber, Lyft. Shout out to every single good, clean-hearted person out there who wants good for everybody else as much as you want good for yourself. That's deep. You could want good for other people, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you want good for them as much as you want it for yourself. It takes a special person to do that. For that, shout out to you. All right, here we go this morning. Man, listen, they're canceling schools everywhere. People are asking, so the schools are canceled. The kids are going to be staying home. All these underage children, the older kids, they can stay because work is not canceled. All these underage children, they can stay home, right? But who is going to stay home with all these older children could stay home, 17, 16. Who's going to stay home with the underage kids? Like the toddlers, the 3, 4, 5-year-olds. You can't leave your 3-year-old with your 16-year-old. You can't leave your 1 week old or you're not 1 week old, but your 6-month-old or your 1-year-old and your 2-year-old with your 16-year-old. You know what I mean? Somebody says, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. The panic is setting in. Exactly. Who's going to stay home with my 7-year-old? See, that's what I'm saying. That's a valid point. That's a valid question to ask. Who in the world is going to stay home with these babies? So in a minute, I know what's going to happen. In a minute, everywhere is going to be closed down. They just didn't want to do it overnight. Close everything, everybody inside. That would cause mass hysteria. Okay? So what they're doing is they're slowly closing in. And that's all it is. They'll start out with the schools, get the kids out the way first. Then the valid question is going to come up. So who's going to stay home with the kids? We got to close our business and let the parents go be with the children. And then from there, more places are going to close. I just got notification last night. After I did the video yesterday, I got notification last night that they've found one case in Miami. For those of you who don't know, I am in the state of Florida. They found one case in Miami. And from that one case in Miami, there are 15 cases across the state of Florida. So I'm just right outside of Miami. So I'm pretty sure it's coming my way now, but it hasn't gotten here yet. I'm still wondering, though, what are they waiting for to close the schools down in Florida? Shout out to my Florida people that are on here this morning. Shout out to my British people on here. Shout out to my Canadian family that's always on here. I wonder how things are in Canada as far as this is concerned. Are you guys having a lot of panic? A lot of people buying out all the stuff in the stores? Yes, there are 33 cases in Florida now. Okay. So, let me tell you, I woke up one day and I said, I have to do something on coronavirus, but I want it to be a sensible conversation, not just me regurgitating the news and come out and say, there are such cases and people are dying and just leave it like that, right? Because I don't want anybody from my audience to panic. So the first day I got up, I looked online, cdc.gov, Center for Disease Control.gov, and it said 700 cases in the US. The next morning I got up it said 1,100 cases in the US. And I was like, from 7 to 1,100, that quick. The next day I got up, it said 1,499 cases. So I guess the projection they're giving is that this thing is spreading rapidly and you got to be really extra careful. Listen, man, from our level, we don't know what this is. One of my subscribers said last night that, what did she say? These are end times. This is what we're talking about. And you have celebrities that are buying into this too and helping the masses go hysterics, go crazy. I seen a famous comedian, Lil Duval, I don't know if you know him, last night said, we will all be gone by May if the projection of this goes the right way. If they're unable to slow it down or eventually stop it, we will all be gone by May. And then, of course, you know, the religious lady on my channel yesterday saying these are end times. These are the last days. This ain't no last days. This is not no last days. Listen to me. Let me tell you something, right? The people that are saying that these are the last days, I know this is going to hurt some feelings. The people that are saying that these are the last days, those are, if you check it, they are usually religious people. And if you check the religion, they are usually from the Christianity branch of religion. Okay? Now, do the math to this. Christianity and Christians have been preaching last days doctrine for 2,000 years now. 2,000 years. Could you imagine going around for 2,000 years saying these are the last days? You better repent. And your lifespan was only 70, 80 years and you died. And then your offsprings came. These are the last days. You better repent. And and you lasted 101. And then you passed away and your children's children said, these are the last days. Pestilence, and these are the last days. You better repent. You better rise up. You better give your life to the Lord. You better run around scared. Stop it. Stop it. Some of us have some doggone sense. Okay? And this is why I don't dabble too much in people's religion, because at a certain point, your universal intelligence kicks in where you start saying, world without end, amen. These are the last days. World without end, amen. These are the last days. There are no last days. Somebody says, just leave the church and talk your talk. Listen, I never mentioned church. Ainsley Spence. I never mentioned church. I mentioned religion. Okay? So, I know, like I said, a lot of y'all are going to be offended or offensive. Find this offensive because you feel like you're under attack. That is how y'all always feel. And now that you've mentioned church, let's go church. This is what they do. They lock you in a building every Saturday or every Sunday and preach doomsday and the fire from hell is going to get you and you're going to burn in eternity and all this for like a couple of hours. And by the time you leave out of that building, you feel like that for the rest of the week until they catch you back again on Sunday. And if they don't get you enough, they make sure that they have prayer meetings and extra youth group meetings and the same doomsday doctrine they always preaching. There ain't no last days. There ain't no last days. I wasn't even talking about church and people are already telling me to leave the church alone. I was talking about religion. There are many religions on the face of the earth. I said, though, that the one that I am familiar with that keeps preaching doomsday is the Christianity religion. That's the one that I grew up in. And that's exactly how it was taught to me growing up my whole life. You're going to burn in eternal damnation. And one day is going to come where everybody on the face of the earth is going. And so you have people now, based on what we were told since we were growing up, that these are the last days. It ain't no last days. There aren't any last days. And Earth is not going anywhere. You're passing through. I'm passing through. Okay? And in the time that we're here, things are going to happen. But these aren't no last days. Earth will replenish herself and life will continue as usual. Stop the doomsday. My duty this morning is to make sure that people are out here cool, calm, and collected in the eye of the storm. This is what this is about, okay? I don't need anybody coming from no religious angle scaring people. I don't want everybody running away after they leave my video. You running so fast, you running into the walls. You're forgetting to do things that would normally save you. Now, pardon me, I could tell some stories about being in the eye of the storm, and maybe that contributes to my calm in the midst of chaos. See, I know what it feels like to strap up and go into combat. I was in the infantry, I was in the military for 10 years, right? I've been in war. I've been on the front lines of war. If you know what infantry soldiers do in war, then you know what I've done. This isn't what I dreamt of doing. This is what I have done. So staying calm in the midst of chaos is one of the most important things. When everything is flying and going crazy around you, it is time for you to relax. Take some deep breaths. Don't take no deep breath next to I said that yesterday. Don't take any deep breaths next to somebody that's coughing and sneezing, though. Not in this time. But take some deep breaths, relax yourself, chill out. It ain't no last days. Listen, man. I don't want to see y'all panicking. Okay? We have valid concerns out here, though. I did a video yesterday, was it 2 days ago, where I talked about, so Alkaline, this is dancehall. Alkaline is coming back to Jamaica again, and this time he's doing another installment of his concert that's called New Rules. And I asked a valid question. I said, because his goal is to fill the stadium, the national stadium in Jamaica. And I said, can he fill a stadium? Is he that big of an artist? Can he fill a stadium? But my more valid question was, you know, this whole lockdown thing is going on. Are they going to still have this concert with all that? You know what people telling me? Move on, go, you're too bad, man. I mash you on the man thing, mash up, you call down Corona upon it. As if I have control over Corona. So yesterday, when the news came out, all schools are locked down in Jamaica. And then all public gathering, all events, all permits have been canceled. And all events, Dream Weekend is canceled. We heard that yesterday. Dream Weekend is huge. It's canceled. All public gathering, all concerts, everything, they have been canceled. I saw Joe Bogdanovich made a new video that just got released. Well, I just saw it. I don't want to say it just got released. I just saw it yesterday. And he's talking about how BRT weekend BRT is canceled. He was talking about how Sumfest is going to be bigger and better than before, and we're going to cater to the patrons, and we're going to make sure that we have stations, sanitary stations, and enough hand wash stations and wipes for the people. And I'm just saying, that's not keeping. But they must know something I don't know. You're in a state of panic, Tommy Luck. Let's start off like this. I'm going to read some comments and talk to some people directly. Who in here is in a state of panic right now? It's a yes, it's a no. Who's in a state of panic right now? Tommy is saying she's, I don't know if it's a she or a he, is in a state of panic. Who is going to show up? He cannot ignore the people and then seek an audience, especially in this atmosphere. Exactly. Ainsley Spence, I'm panicking as hell. I have my 4-year-old daughter down in Australia. No. Tommy Luck, me. No. Okay. So I see more people are panicking. More people are not panicking than that are panicking. Oh no, there's a couple of people here. Yolanda Williams panicking. Carol Jones panicking. Kevin Gordon panicking. Maka said it the best. Not panicking, just take precautions, educate yourself, and take proper precautions. Exactly. I see a lot of people are panicking, though. I see a lot of people are panicking. Yeah. Listen, if there's ever a time to panic, it would probably be now, because they are putting a whole lot of work into making sure that you are panicking. Okay? There's a whole lot going on into making sure you are panicking right now. If they wanted to, and I say they, and I suppose that you are on the know, you know who they is. If they wanted to make sure that you were not panicking right now, they could do that too. How? They could do that by not running it over and over so much on TV. They could do that by, oh, here we go. The politics, man. You guys are caught up in that stuff. Democrat, I guess that's your bad name for Democrats. And then somebody is going to come and say something about Republicans and a bad name for Republicans. And listen, there is one puppet master. Okay? That's just my belief. There is one puppet master, and that one puppet master pulls strings on both sides. It's just like in Jamaica, right? Where you have two parties and they both do the same things year in, year out, from before I was born until now. God Favored Me said it's psychological warfare upon fearful people. Yes. Like writing hieroglyphics on the minds of the weak and the timid. True. That's why it's important to just be firm right now, right? One puppet master. Division is the key. That's the goal. And they will do that by any means. Okay? So let me talk about the panic part first. If they wanted us to not panic, it would be easy, because there are things out there that have been killing us. The common flu and influenza, I just looked it up, CDC. That kills between 29,000 and 54,000 people every year in the United States of America alone. That's a lot of people. 54,000 people dead. 29 to 54,000 people on average in the US alone. But you don't see every minute flu and influenza. Go inside, lock yourselves away, schools closing down, right? That means they don't want you to panic. All they tell you every year is make sure you get your flu shot and this and that. Some people say I'm not getting no flu shot. I'll take my chances, because I know people that got the flu shot and they friggin' got sick as hell from it, right? And then some of us who work in the medical field don't have a choice but to get the flu shot. I've worked at facilities where I didn't have to get it. I just had to wear a mask all day. Then I've worked at facilities where they made it mandatory for you to get it. If you don't get it, you're going to have to leave, and we're going to have to get another therapist to replace you. That kind of stuff. So I ended up having to get the flu shot last year because I was at a facility. Was it last year? Year before last year? I was at a facility that made it mandatory to get it, right? Look at the numbers. There are other things out there that we should be panicking about, but they don't run the commercials and the news breaks. They don't run them constantly like that. So we're not in fear. They're not closing down. They're not running around. They're not masking up and spraying down everything. So we're not in fear like we are now. He who is in control knows how to hit that panic button, and that panic button has been hit, right? So the visuals are very powerful. Flu, influenza, that's okay. I'll still go into a crowd. I'll still go to the club tonight. 2 shots of alcohol, take that away. I'll still go kiss a stranger, swap spit, concert, go into this big crowded area, people sneezing, coughing around me. Cover your mouth, man. It's and that's okay. You're not panicking. You're not Yo, I made a joke yesterday where I said, there are people, right? Look how long we've been telling people, say, AIDS kills. AIDS has gotten to a epidemic or pandemic proportions long time ago, has remained there. And some people still meeting strangers and sleeping with strangers and having unprotected sex in 2020. And they're more worried about corona. All right. The panic button has been hit. AIDS is all over and no one wants to wear a condom, but everyone is wearing a mask. Don't want to be infected. Exactly. That's exactly my point. The precautions are out there. People are still, that's my point I'm making. People are still going to do what they want, even in the midst of them being scared and panic. I am scared as heck about catching AIDS, right? That's why I stay home. Well, I stay home because I love my wife, and I stay home because I get everything I need at home, really. But let's just say I stay home because I'm scared. I just want one person. That way, even if the chances are slimmer, okay? And I would know who and where I got it from. So, may I stay in my yard, may I stay with my one burner, that kind of thing. And some people still out there wilding out. Dropping wee-wee everywhere. Skin out, gal, everywhere. Everybody get peace. And then later on, they're concerned, oh my God, I don't know what I just did. Gee, that's why I'm asleep with him. Like they can pray the AIDS away. Or they can pray any other STD that has no cure away. Listen, man. Stop letting people scare you. Stop letting people scare you. Someone says this is the first live they catch. Welcome, Debbie Ann. Welcome. Stop letting people scare you. This is no doomsday. This is no last day. What I found is that people have been prepping for doomsday and last day so long, they actually want it to happen. They want it to happen. Otherwise, they seem crazy. They seem like they've been prepping for no reason. So it is only right to push the narrative. Besides all that, did y'all notice that? Let's talk about in the US alone. Everything is on lockdown right now. When you see the NBA go on lockdown, that tells you the NBA makes billions of dollars annually. So to see all of them running, and they're saying that 2 NBA players so far have tested positive for the coronavirus. So the whole season canceled. I'm expecting all events, public events, to be canceled. That's just how it's going to go. What I'm trying to say to you this morning, people, is this. Now is a good time to actually take care of your family. Spend time with your family. For those of you who are going to be laid off, be sent home, And eventually, if it goes into lockdown, complete lockdown, where you have to stay in for 2 weeks, make sure you take care of yourself, take care of your family. No need to panic. This too shall pass. Okay? This too shall pass. There have been worse plagues and pestilence upon the face of the earth before, and they all passed. This too shall pass. The people that I am worried about, though, honestly, are, and my grandparents fit into this category. My grandparents are in the rural parts of Jamaica, and I don't know if any of y'all know how the Caribbean is set up. I know, and I don't speak on, I have one big Caribbean family, right? Love to everybody. But the reason I don't mention other Caribbean islands is because I haven't lived there. And even through reading a lot, speaking to people that are from other places and watching videos, I still don't feel akin enough to speak, because I don't want to say the wrong things. And then, people are very patriotic. Well, yeah, boy, you talking about Trinidad, Jed. Yeah, you is a Jamaican. You ain't know nothing about my country. So I don't want nobody cuss me out and say, oh, man. So I don't really speak about other people's country, but my main concern is about the elderly. My main concern is about the elderly. And my grandparents fit into that. And medical supply in places like Jamaica and these kind of places, especially for the people who, listen, I come from so far up in the hills in Jamaica. If you get shot, because so everybody I get shot. No, shooting is the thing. If you get shot where I'm from, then we would just say, dog, nyam your supper, because not too many people have cars there still. So it's not like somebody could throw you in a car and drive you to the nearest hospital. Yeah, Spalding's Hospital. I live far from Spalding's Hospital, fam. But it's the closest hospital to where I live. Clarendon, in the house. Oh, you're there, my brother. Capadon. Morning. So I'm concerned for my grandparents who are elderly, who are way in a remote part of the island. And I know how medical is there. I know how emergency response is there. See, in the US right here, where my house is, literally, there's my house here, my neighbor's house, and then a fire station. Right? The big fire station for my entire city is located, one of them is located right here, one house away. There's my house, my backyard, my neighbor's backyard meets my backyard and their house. Then there's a major street, and then across that street is the fire station. So I'm in good where emergency is concerned. Also, I know that here, if I dial 911, the closest police station to me is 5 minutes if they're driving like it's an emergency away from here. The closest hospital to me is, and I have two of them, and one is 5 minutes that way, and the other one is 5 minutes the other way away from me. So I'm situated good. My grandparents don't have that luxury. And as you know, I hit the accent. As you know, listen, man, some of my best friends are Trinis. I could talk about them all day. I used to talk like a Trini so bad to the point where when I met Jamaicans used to be like, you're Trini or you're Yadi? Which one? Pick a side, youth. So I actually had to work on my patois, my Jamaican patois. So this whole corona thing, it's the elderly that are we're more concerned about. Of all the deaths, of all the 39 deaths so far, 100% of them has been over 70 years old. So when they say that a compromised immune system or age, elderly, as you get older, your immune system becomes compromised. It becomes easier for you to get the flu. And once you get the flu, then anything else could come on in and all that other stuff. So a compromised immune system, my lights went out, is one of the major doorways then for this thing to happen to you. So yeah, I'm concerned about my grandparents. I'm concerned about elderly people, period. And you should too. And I'm talking about taking care of your family. Looking on your grandmother, looking on your great grands, looking on whoever is already ill in your family from whatever else they had going on before. These are the people that are more susceptible. For the rest of you, man, I'm not saying it can't happen to you. I don't know how you move around through your environment, but it's time to like, I'm beating up garlic and ginger and boiling it and drink that and like soaking in honey. My wife soaked garlic and honey and we keep that in the house. And I just take a teaspoonful of that. And yes, I chew the garlic pieces, but it goes down good with the honey. It's actually like eating a pizza and asking for extra garlic on the pizza. It's not that big of a deal. So we just have to take precautions right now. It's not panic time. And it's not doomsday, and it's not the end of the world. And like I said before, if you are intelligent, this is not a knock on anybody's religion. This is me asking people to think intelligently. If people have been saying, Christianity has been around for 2,000 years now. I'm just saying. So if people have been preaching end of times doctrine for 2,000 years now, and it hasn't happened yet. If I told you, meet me in Miami, April 1st, 2020, and I didn't show up. Meet me in Miami, April 1st, 2021, and I didn't show up. Meet me in Miami, April 1st, 2022, and I didn't show up. Meet me in you see where this is going? And we get to 2029, and I'm still saying, meet me in Miami, April 1st. Are you telling me that you were going to buy your tickets and tell everybody, we meet in SouFLo in Miami, April 1st? I know he's been saying it since 2020, and it's now 2029, and he never showed up to any of them yet. But he's going to show up to this one. Chill out. Stop with the doomsday thing. Stop with the end of times thing. Okay? When you panic is when you lose focus of what you're actually really supposed to be doing. You really have people out here that's going around loose. May I jump on the flight anyway? A flight that they didn't have to take. May I jump on the flight anyway? May I enjoy my life because it's it's in the hands of the Lord. All right then. And then next thing you know, the Prime Minister saying, all those who came in on flight 27555, please self-identify. Because they're coming to quarantine you behind because some people came in on the damn flight that has the thing. You could have stayed at your yard. Didn't necessarily have to travel right now. You know? So now is the time to not believe in foolishness. Now is the time to just use your common sense, man, and relax. Stop the panicking. Stop talking about we're all gonna die. Chill. Take it easy. All right? Take it easy. We're gonna be checking in momentarily. I don't want all our shows to be about death and last days, and so I'll be checking in from time to time on my family, which is you, and to find out how you guys are doing. Are you still panicking? We share our stories here. Today, my children are going off to school for the last day, and then I think they're going to go and lock the school down after today. I'm not sure. I'm hoping they do, because, I mean, everywhere else is on lockdown, so why pull my kids out there? You know what I'm saying? So I hope they do. And as you know, they're morning calls come in to me every morning where I FaceTime with my children, make sure that everybody is okay. I love you, daddy. Daddy loves you too, baby. Have a good day at school. That type of stuff. Shout out to all the daddies who get up out your bed and make sure that you do that every day. Make sure that you are present in your children. These are the important things that we need to focus on. Make sure that you are present in your children's life. So they're not there wondering, well, how come my friends have daddy and I don't have no daddy? And your children walking around wanting to call every strange man that smile at your mom, at their mom, daddy. Your mother can't even catch a date because as soon as she like John, the picnic them said, daddy, and John run. But on a serious note, let's take care of our family, man. Okay? Take care of our family. I hope they close all the schools. And I hope truly leave the grocery stores open. We will figure out, because we have 24-hour grocery stores here, and we have people that's always cleaning them. I know how to get up at 2 a.m. and sneak into the grocery store when I'm the only one there, get all the stuff I need, wipe down everything, pay for it, and get out. And they have self-serve here. They are doing away. Did you know that? They're doing away with cashiers. So even the little job where you could have said, boy, I can work a cashier job part-time, cash register, that's going away. The future says there will be no cash registers. There will be self-checkouts, and there will be cameras to monitor you self-checking out. That's it. So even the job as a cashier is going away. I was in a grocery store the other day, real quick, before I end this video. I was in a grocery store the other day, and I saw something, a big, like a robot sliding down the aisle, right? And I asked the dude in the grocery store, I said, David, what's that? Because I've known David for years. David, what's that? He said, oh, they don't need us anymore to scan stuff and figure out like what's missing on the shelves. They put this robot out here, and the robot just goes and scans everything through the store. So that's the world we living in. Anyhow, people, manners and respect to each and every one of you. Big up yourself. Listen, surround yourself with love. Surround yourself with people that love you and genuinely care about you. Some of you don't know what love is, so you accept abuse. It is okay to be alone. All right? If you feel like you're being abused, if you feel like you're taken for granted, if you feel like you're not appreciated, life is too short for that. This panic moment for a lot of people should show you that life is really too short for that. Start living with a purpose. Start living as if you only have one life. Because guess what? You really only have one life. Okay? All right. So make it count. Make it count. Live life to the fullest, filled with love and happiness, and make it count. Leave your mark on this before you go. Okay? All right. Bless up on yourself, each and every one of you, and stay tuned because we will be staying in touch and we will be talking about this some more. And remember, we're not dealing with no panic. Okay? We're not dealing with no panicking. We're dealing with preventive measures, and we're dealing with common sense or intelligence for that matter. All right? Peace. Catch you on the next video.